you're walking into a bear den naked, slathered in honey, and hoping that you're going to get out of there with nothing more than a couple of scratches. That ain't going to happen.
Jack has something he wants to talk about. Jack has something he wants to talk about today.
Oh, man. You're just going to drop it there, huh?
Yeah, this is on you, my friend.
Okay, well, let's talk about what I consider to be the giant pile of elephant dung in every marketing department room. And that is PPC, pay-per-click advertising.
Ouch,
so
by the way.
Can
Ouch.
I just go off? Is it okay if I just go off?
Yeah, be cantankerous.
Okay. I remember when the internet, when internet advertising first became a thing, and the promise was, quit wasting your marketing dollars sending messages to people who aren't interested in what you're selling. We're going to make sure that every penny you spend on advertising goes to people who are potential customers for whatever it is you sell. That was the promise. And who wouldn't react positively to that kind of promise?
I want instant customers, please.
Yeah. Hey, put $1 in, get $4 out. The only limit on the amount of money you make is how many dollars you put in. That's a great, I love that idea. Nobody doesn't love that idea. Here's the reality. Roughly 3 decades later. This is not my opinion. This is fact, backed up by industry experts who don't have an axe to grind. They just simply want to know what's going on. Depending on how you measure it and where you measure it, somewhere between 70 cents and 95 cents of every single dollar you spend on pay-per-click advertising is untrackable.
Okay, wait a second.
Yeah.
No way.
I did not misstate that.
Oh, man.
For every dollar you spend, let's be generous. Let's say it's only 70 cents out of every dollar is completely untrackable. 70 cents out of every dollar you spend is completely untrackable in PPC. Now, the other side of that coin is this. The second largest money-making criminal enterprise in the world as of August 2025 is pay-per-click fraud, digital advertising fraud. It is a multi-tens of billions of dollars a year illicit business. So when these people who study this say, these dollars are untrackable, we got to understand, it was designed that way. It's designed, the whole digital advertising landscape is designed to be unauditable, untrackable. It's built to be defrauded. That's the word.
Fraudulent?
Defrauded. I write words for a living. It's built that way. And you know what?
Yeah. But
if digital advertising was the least expensive way to reach people, and you could still say, okay, so it's actually, I'm spending 3 times more than it's actually recorded in order to reach this person, but it's still the best deal out there, I could almost understand it, but it's nowhere close. It's not in the top 10. It's one of the worst possible ways to spend your advertising dollar.
Okay, so wait a second. So attribution is the key here. No, I get it. Listen, but attribution is the key here, right? So they promised that you...
My manager just walked in.
Yeah, shh. Act calm. So So attribution was promised that you could attribute where things were coming from, and now 70% of the time you can't. So it was promised, it was completely, you could watch where everything came from. Yeah, well, I get that. So I'm just, if we're gonna throw the gauntlet, let's throw it on the conservative side, just so that nobody yells at us on the other side, right? But 70% is untrackable, and so you can't attribute it to the fact that those leads or your business is growing because of this thing 70% of the time. Could you go to the doctor and be okay with 70% accuracy? Sorry, with 30% accuracy in your diagnosis. Yeah, 30% accuracy in the diagnosis. No. Do you know what I mean? Would you? The only place I know you can be accurate 30% of the time is a Major League Baseball player at the bat.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That's the only one. I can't think of any place in the world where you're like, you get it right 30% of the time. Yeah, no problem.
You're right, 3 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, major league hitter who you'll make the Hall of Fame if you're right 3 out of 10.
Right.
That's
so like
it.
but when we say that kind of stuff to people, their brains breaking, going like, oh my God, like yeah, that's right. They don't get on very often, but yet we applaud them when they do.
I mean, you know what? It's worse than that, though. It's not just that it's built to be untrackable. It's that it's an auction where you're bidding against other people who want this untrackable thing. And the company that's selling you the click is the auctioneer.
Yeah.
I mean, think that through. It's an awful way to try to reach people if money matters to you. And here we are in the 8th month of 2025. And for the entire last year, I've heard a fairly consistent complaint from both customers and prospects. And that is that the amount of money they're having to spend on pay-per-click every month just to stay even is going up. And there's multiple reasons for that. Let's take the fraud out of it. Let's assume that it's 100% trackable and 100% legit. You're still fighting with people who want to spend money the exact same way, and the person who bids the highest wins. That is a system that's designed to create one winner and everybody else be losers. And furthermore, to make sure that that one winner spends more money than anybody else. I'm not overstating it here. I'm making it sound like it's horrible, but these are the facts. I'm not saying there's no place for PPC. There's a time and a place for it, but you got to understand what you're walking into a bear den naked, slathered in honey, and hoping that you're going to get out of there with nothing more than a couple of scratches. It ain't going to happen. Isn't that a beautiful image? Naked, walking into a bear den, slathered in honey. Yes.
Yeah, I'm never using PPC again, ever, not once. Okay, so let's put a point on this. The truth of the matter is that it unfortunately is getting more expensive. The research has been done, and you're definitely not being able to attribute where your clicks are coming from. So the money is just going into the ether, and you don't know why.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem to be as successful as it used to be, and that's by us tracking with all of our clients. We can tell you that, but it's everywhere. It's rampant. It's everywhere. So if all that's the truth, the way to get around that is for people to know who you are before they go to the web.
And I probably should unpack a little bit. The reason there's so much fraud is because there's so much money to be made because it's an auction, but also because so many people are looking for these things. So the more people who are looking for pick something, snow tires.
Nice.
And if you're bidding on snow tires,
The guy
you're
in
not
Phoenix
just
just
bidding
said snow
against, there's not a
tires.
lot of bidding for snow tires in Phoenix, but if
Okay.
you're bidding on snow tires, everybody else who's bidding on snow tires is competing against you. Let's assume everybody is legit. You're still competing against literally everybody in whatever geographical area you've happened to limit your bidding to who want
Yeah.
to bid on snow tires. And because there's so many people doing it, there's a lot more people willing to engage in fraud because there's so much money to be made. But if people are looking for your particular company name or the name of the particular snow tire that you alone carry, and they know that, and they go into the Google and they say, where can I find this particular your brand name snow tire? There's just not that many people who are doing that search. And because there's not that many people doing that search, there's not that many people bidding on it. In fact, most of the time there won't be anybody but you bidding on it. And because you're not in a, you're suddenly no longer in a competition, you can get those clicks for pennies on the dollar. And we see this over and over and over and over.
Oh, okay. That's brilliant. That's what we're going to talk about next time, is we're going to talk about how to have a cheat, how to have an unfair advantage when people go search for you on the web. So let's talk about that. I want to actually going to talk about Snazzle, Dazzle, Razzle. That's a,
Oh, great idea.
we're going to talk about that for next
Yeah.
time. Listen, Jack, who's our unofficial sponsor of this thing?
The unofficial sponsor of Crumbs for Giants is the Wizard Academy, which is an unconventional business marketing school located in Austin, Texas, one of the most magical places on earth. Really, if you're a business person, especially if you're in marketing, communications of any kind, it's way better than Disneyland. We rave about it because we are huge fans, because for both of us, it's made a huge difference in our business careers. We don't get anything for talking about it other than we love to share what makes us happy as entrepreneurs, as marketers, as business people with folks like us. Check it out, wizardacademy.org. Yeah, it's an org.
Brilliant.
It's not a con.
You got it. All right. Well, listen, guys, this has been another episode of Crumbs for Giants. We love doing this. We're going to come back every week. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, leave a comment. Follow us so you don't miss one. And we'll be back next week.
We'll see you next week.